back. All right, so that was awesome with Minette. Yeah,
I know. Did you guys know you lived so close to each other?
So I met Minette for the first time at Speaker Co-op, but how we got to know each other was we were walking our dogs at some god awfully early time in the morning, and we're both with dogs, and she's like, I know you, and I'm like, I too. Now, what I didn't realize was how close they lived. So those kids that I keep seeing playing in our creek behind us, those are her kids. And so she said if I catch them doing anything wrong, give her a call.
Give her a call. Shoot her a text.
So yeah.
They're connected.
Yeah, we're really connected. So look out, Riordan kids. We know where you.
Uh-oh.
All right. So we want to talk about some big no-nos and some big to-dos at our holiday parties. It's that time of year. I feel so festive. I've been to a couple. I haven't seen anything really tremendously well, I take that back. I went to Margarita Ball. I have seen some pretty tremendously insane things go on in public.
And unfortunate incidents of people that have over-imbibed.
So we got a little time. Let's get to it.
Now we're talking about holiday parties,
office parties,
companies,
right?
Small business parties, not
networking parties.
Yeah, networking parties. Yeah.
Well, I'm okay. This first one, I'm thinking at the family party we shouldn't do either. So number one, do not have casual sex with your office workers. I know this should go without saying, but and especially the boss, because two reasons. One, I know it didn't work out on Grey's Anatomy, as we all saw. And it
actually didn't work out on CSI.
No.
There's several television shows that prove positive.
Can you say sexual harassment? I think you can.
Yeah.
Bad
you don't want
idea.
anyone to say it.
Lawsuit. And I'll tell you a quick story. My first office Christmas party, and it was a Christmas party. It wasn't a holiday party. They were in. Anyway, it was a large company that will remain nameless, and they did not invite spouses, which is a caveat to the big no-no. I think it's a really bad idea to have a huge party at a hotel that has alcohol, and you're asking people to get hotel rooms because you don't want them to drive, and then you don't allow spouses to come, and they didn't even allow you to pay for your spouse to come. I'm like, that is just an invitation for
temptation,
for badness, and
invitation for temptation.
Yeah, and what that created was a lot of spouses wouldn't allow their significant others to go. It's just stupid. Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
and it's all about making connections. It's about building the team. And if you're talking about a work-life balance, there's not too many hours in the day where the spouse or significant other are visiting and. Right. I guess having fun, but also just meeting the people, the coworkers, all of them especially.
Yeah.
So I may work on this one team, and we would go out to lunch with my spouse every once in a while, once a month. But then when you're bringing in all the other teams and management and warehouse work, everybody's invited to one big party. I believe all significant others or spouses should be welcome.
And I agree. And by the way, I've seen Brian Looney twice this year, if that tells you how often we get to see that.
He's all over social media, but in person, forget about it.
Okay, so here's another big no-no. You would think, again, goes without saying, but people do it. It would be talking about salary. What do you make? See, we all get, you have a few in you, inhibitions go down, and I personally think salary information ought to be pretty public, in terms of, at least by demographic. Not good conversation at the holiday party.
I agree. Plus, I mean, you're just going to create other issues, and people are going to start getting upset if they feel like they're undervalued for some reason, or I've been here longer, you just got here, how'd you make that? It's inappropriate at any time, especially at a holiday party, which leads us to the next piece is because we're there to have fun. We're not there to have fights and have a poor attitude, and we want to have camaraderie, we want to have a good time. We just don't want to. Everything in moderation. Right? Everything in moderation, including the eating and the drinking. Don't overeat, don't overdrink.
There's a great example of that. Do you guys remember the movie Big? And Elizabeth Perkins went to the office party and was, and I believe it was at the CEO's that said, what's her name? Susan? It's a party. And I think in adulthood, we've all had those people who just want to go around and talk about business. And we do have to remember it's a party, and it's not fun to talk about spreadsheets. So for some people it is, but for most of us it's not, so don't.
And you know what? It's the holiday season.
Yeah.
It's the time to give. So let's start talking about how we can support people and
Right.
in their personal and professional lives versus what we want. What can we get business-wise? Let's talk about how we can help each other.
Yeah. And another do on my list, especially since my peeps tend to be in the IT world and they don't like to go to parties. Go. Most of the time, they're in some companies. In fact, it's a career limiting move not to go to the company party. But still, it gives you an opportunity to know people on a different level and for them to know you. I mean, you may not be the most social person, and maybe you are the true individual contributor that wants to be in the cave, and that's okay. Let people know that. I bet you have fun outside of the office.
Well, and think about it. Most company parties, year-round,
Yeah.
but even at the holidays, are from a certain time to a certain time. 5 to 7, 5 to 8, 6 to 9. It's not that you have to be there the entire 2 or 3 hours. Come, show, see a few people. If there's a toy drive, please bring a toy. Maybe even an extra toy in case someone else forgot. Or if you are bringing a significant other, that would be 2 toys to get you into the party.
Yeah.
And why not?
Mm-hmm. So here's a no-no, which I happened to see this year. Please do not dance at the party like you are in a hip-hop video.
No spinning on my head.
No grabbing your ankles.
Ooh, cankles.
Yeah, very, very bad. Grinding to the floor, which...
Grinding on anyone.
Yes, grinding,
Much less
probably
the floor.
grinding, period. Is
No
probably
centipedes on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Caroline's going to do a centipede.
I was thinking about the centipede, spinning.
It's
I think
kind
that's
of grinding
okay.
with the floor when you're doing the centipede. It's, yeah.
So, limbo's one thing, but... And, and the conga line, fine. But
line dancing, that's always group.
Yeah.
Collaboratory.
But anything where, the piece parts are together, bad idea at the office party. So here's the other no-no. You've got to read that one.
No drunk dialing the boss or calling in sick with a hangover, especially the next day.
Yeah.
Don't call in sick with a hangover before you even get to the party. That would be even worse. What?
Well, yeah. And
just trying to loosen up before the Christmas party, and now I do that.
And the corollary to that, don't have your friends drunk dial the boss either.
Yeah.
Had that happen at a company that I worked in. Oh, and no uploading nude photos of yourself. Either at the office party, we had somebody take a picture of his junk and upload it. This was back in the 90s, so this was a long time ago. And the picture of his junk clogged the internet connection and brought it down, and that's how we all found out about it.
Well, and Scooter was talking about this holiday do's and don'ts, and I don't see it on our list yet, but it's part of what she just said, and that's like no copy machine.
Yeah.
Play. No playing with body parts on the copy machine.
Yeah. There's a whole list of over-imbibe. Over-imbibing actually isn't on there because I think it's fairly obvious, and yet we could probably add a whole other segment about all the things that you should not do after you've ever imbibed at the holiday party.
Well, I'll tell you what, how companies can probably assist in that is you can do drink tickets, you can do only beer and wine, and then if you are the employee, the person that's participating and coming to the party, don't bring your own little flask of heavy-duty, high-octane, not necessary.
I've been guilty of that.
Don't spike the punch bowl at your company party.
Oh, yeah, that's poisoning. So things that get you in trouble legally, and I think most companies know this, but if you're having an off-sponsored party and you provide the booze, you now become responsible for getting people home. So the whole drink ticket thing is a good idea. So here's one that I'm guilty of, and so I'm careful about it because I do like the adult beverage, and I'm not very shy about that. But on the other hand, I don't want every picture of me in social media being me with drink. So
mine's every other, and I'm fine with that.
So be aware, and you may want to put your drink down before the picture gets taken, so that it doesn't get posted of you. So that not every picture of you at the holiday party is.
More rampant than ever.
I know.
In the last 2 or 3 years with just this onslaught and awesome social media that's out there. So be very wary. Another no-no would be if you are the boss and this is not the time to make an HR announcement like layoffs or we're selling the business.
Yeah.
Hooray! We're going out of business.
This is our last company party.
Hurrah!
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Not a good time. And I this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened. That's why I bring it up.
I just saw that recently. I wish I could remember. I think it's like a FedEx commercial
Yeah.
where they're having a birthday party and they're singing happy birthday to Susie. And the boss is over there making announcements because it's the only time that he can, number one, have a meeting with them.
Right.
Number two, have them all in a positive mode when he's about to disseminate some negative information. It's a great, go see if you can find it on YouTube, this FedEx commercial. It's really
from
funny.
a couple of years ago, but it is really funny. Oh, and speaking of inappropriate things, if you want a good laugh,
other than watching the
show.
It's
been on my Facebook. It's been on my Facebook page, but I didn't share it out to everybody. And this is a total left turn, kind of, sort of. There's a YouTube video out there of this year's Sandra Lee Hanukkah, making a Hanukkah cake, and don't watch it on the Facebook. Go out to the YouTube and read the comments. Make you cry. It's just so wrong. And so she's an example of over imbibing and doing bad things at holiday parties.
So watch any holiday episode of The Office and you'll know exactly what not to do.
Yeah.
And of course, make sure we thank and appreciate the staff, all your employees, and your vendors and clients if they're invited to your parties for their hard work, their expertise, their love, and their attention and their business. Just really thank them. That's really what we're here for. It's a time of the season, like I said, to be giving, but it's also a time to be thankful.
Absolutely.